Yo, what is up? Look at our boys down here in Chicago, Illinois. You know my obsession with checking in on them on non-business hours, especially a nice, beautiful Saturday, I'm sure, in Chicago. They have been there all day. I've been checking all day. Now, as I'm doing this video, it is midnight. It is 12:06 a.m. Sunday morning in Chicago, Illinois. And these fine folks are still there working. So anybody down there in that Chicago area on Dearborn Street, bring these fine folks down some donuts, coffee, Red Bulls, rock stars, okay? Let's get them jived up here. They got some work to do down there. Boy, oh boy, what in the world? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little story here. It's going to be a good one. Bear with me. And it's going to relate to the FUD, the selling, should I hold, paper hands, blah, 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 right? So today, friend of mine fishes in Alaska. He goes up there once or twice a year, right? He likes the hard work. He's a good old boy, right? Old country guy, lives down in the woods down here in Washington. So long story short, I'm driving him down there. I'm dropping him off. He's going to come back in 6 weeks, whatever the time frame is, right? So I told him about AMC probably 3 months ago. I think he got in at like $8 or $9 or whatever. And he bought a bunch. I think he bought a couple thousand total shares, or maybe 2,200 shares, okay? So long story short, he's holding them. Now, he's a guy that can barely work the internet. He can barely work his phone. He's blind in one eye, can't see out the other. Just kind of a clumsy, not really technological savvy type of fella, right? So long story short, he goes, here, man, take my pass and my login for Robinhood. He's still got Robinhood. I go, okay, cool. What do you want me to do? He goes, well, whenever you're going to sell, just sell my shit. He goes, I don't want to lose it. You know, I don't want to be up here on the boat and miss out. That got me thinking, okay, on the way back. Now, I know for a fact a lot of you guys have thought of this, right? I don't see a lot of people talking about it. But let's just say you paper hand it, whether it is tomorrow, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you start listening to your neighbor's friend, whatever the case is, okay? You sell all of your AMC shares. And I'm just used, you can be GameStop, whatever you want to call it, okay? All these short plays, mainly GameStop and AMC, okay? If you do that and this thing squeezes, which it's going to squeeze, okay? It 100% is going to squeeze. There's no doubt in my mind. The math is there. They have not covered a single share. They need to cover these shares, okay? So whatever the thing is, okay? If this squeezes and you sell your stock, you are going to have to move to Antarctica, somewhere remote in Alaska, whatever the case is, and never have access to the internet again. Because I don't know about you guys. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to run down to the Space Needle if I sold my shares and take a swan dive off the top of the Space Needle, right? But I put together just some simple, basic, dummy math, right? This, if you look at it and you think about it, and I know a lot of you have, what if I sell? I'm not going to sell because this might happen. I'm just throwing a $1,500 price out there. Let's just say it's $1,500. We all know what this thing can do. We've heard the 500K, 100K. I'm not selling 10th, whatever the dollar amount is. Doesn't matter. We're just using this as a model. 1,500 would be on the very, very low end of it. But look at my simple math with Jeff here for tonight. At $1,500, 100 shares, 150 grand, right? You see what I'm saying here? 250, 375, 500, 750. You have 750 shares. You're over $1 million. 1.5 million, 1.8, 2.2. At 1,500. You see what I'm saying with the mathematics. Now, I think a gazillion people, let's just say whatever the case is, you're selling for whatever reason. You read some article here, you're sick of waiting, whatever the case is. There's going to be, every fiber of your being is going to go, oh my gosh, what if I do sell my 200 shares or my 800 shares or my 2,000 shares or whatever it is, and this does happen. Think about that. I think that alone is going to get people to absolutely not sell, no matter what the case is, unless something drastic comes up. Money's money, okay? People might need money. Everybody might be in a different scenario. But it's that what if? What if this does squeeze, right? Then that kind of goes back to the video I did a few weeks ago that you guys commented on about running up to $72, and we didn't sell nothing. You know, and I remember putting that little comment in the community page, just asking, you know, saying I was blown away on my little baby YouTube channel that all you people held, and you guys had some pretty big positions. There was hundreds of thousands of dollars there, and nobody blinked an eye. That's pure conviction. So this is a whole separate level of things. But maybe somebody can read this that did not think about this. What if you paper hand Portney this thing and it does moon off? And we're at a safe a number here at this 1,500 buckaroos, right? So something to think about. I know a lot of you guys, I thought that'd be fun to bring up, but still, that alone, like if I sold my shares and this thing squeezed, I don't care about time frames or whatever, I would be, I don't even know what I would be. I would be devastated for one, but no way on God's green earth the rest of my life I would not go a day without thinking about it. Because that's a lot of money, right? A lot. So that was fun, just something to think about too. But I think that'll help a lot of people in going, okay, gosh, what if I do sell this? And crazy. Okay, let's touch on this son of a gun here. I seen this yesterday and I forgot to talk about it, but relating to the crypto sell-offs, right? But look at this here. This is quoted from, this is a Bloomberg article over here on Yahoo, but a JP Morgan, Josh Younger, whatever his name was, wrote on a note on Friday, but also said, JP Morgan team said blockchain data suggests recent crypto sales were made to cover losses, that there is likely still an overhang of underwater positions which need to be cleared through the market. There's only one thing that could be related to AMC, GameStop, and whatever else they're shorting to, right? So remember, Bitcoin just a couple months ago was at 65 grand. And then also I found this interesting too. The largest cryptocurrency fell off was 6% to 30,296 on Saturday after dropping 8% on Friday. Other coins were also under pressure, and Ether dropping more than 5%. Some chart watchers view that $30,000 level as key for Bitcoin, contending a decline below that could bring to 20 grand. So I think that's a pretty big deal there too, and especially if it's JP Morgan's thinking that too. So yeah, that is that. And then this thing too, I can't let this go with this guy leaving Citadel. I know that the timing is really funky, and like I told you guys the other day, and I'm sure you thought of this too, is this guy's job title. This guy was in charge of a lot of crap. But another Frank Nez article down here. But long story short, we know he left to go to this Pagaya as a CFO down there. But look at his job title. Remember, we got chaos going down at Citadel, right? We all know what's going on there. But what does a deputy global treasurer do? That was his job title at Citadel. According to ZipRecruiter, a deputy global treasurer assists a group of financial advisors related to supervising investments, risk, and financial operations. As a deputy global treasurer, other obligations include verifying financial risks to investments, assessing the institution's liquidity, organizing and approaching budgets for financial projects, and ensure the financial health of the institution. Okay? Monster job. And to leave in the middle of the chaos, let's go back to here on a Saturday night. 6 months ago, a year ago, I guarantee you these dudes were not here on a Saturday night every single Saturday. They're here all the time. So for this guy to pack it up and all of a sudden take some job down here at Pagaya, I'm sure it's an outstanding place, but to have this guy's talent, I'm sure he's outstanding. He was part of Goldman Sachs too. To leave that position in the middle of the chaos, something is up. It has to be, right? So very interesting. Let's check out our dark pool guy over here in the AMC stock. Shout out to Appropriate Elk again. Dark pool guy here to bring you the hot news flash to begin the weekend. AMC remains the #1 most toxic holding for the week ending June 25. Deepening short shares liabilities to negative $30.69 billion in value across a staggering 624.4 million short shares. Widening lead over Tesla at #2 at negative 23. So, hello, dark pool madness. Another little Reddit article over here. Shout out to Gold Building 378 over on the AMC board on the Reddit mobile. But look at this here. 120 plus articles against AMC. Click the link and see. They know we are winning. Blah, blah, blah. But long story short, he put together all of these articles in here, 120 of them. And by the way, to you guys, these were all over the last 3 weeks. Remember, the last 3 weeks is when we blasted on up to that unbearable, 72, hovering in the 50s and $60 mark. So the FUDs came out. These articles are coming out. They are not comfortable in this $55, $60 range, as we know, let alone 70 plus, right? So yeah, that was very interesting. Then over here, let's end on this note here. SEC delays Robinhood's IPO due to concerns over its cryptocurrency business. I think there's a little bit more to that, and I'll touch on here why. According to reports, the SEC is delaying Robinhood's plans to go public this year due to concern about its crypto business, right? Crypto. Robinhood announces plans to launch. Remember, they were supposed to launch in June, right? June of this year. However, he then postponed plans until July due to the holiday season. According to Bloomberg's source, the company plans could now be delayed until September through December amid additional scrutiny by the SEC. I think we're going to hear more about this story. They've got those monster class actions going on. It might be all she wrote for old Robinhood, especially if Citadel goes south. Ugh. Plus all the rules and the payment to order flow. Yeah, I think we're going to find out more about the old Robinhood, right? This here was interesting. This goes with Robinhood and Citadel. If this doesn't make you want to hold right here, I'm going to play this on the way out the door, but this will make you want to hold as well. And then remember, don't paper hand Portney that this week or next week, or even if it takes 6 months. Hold this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime dealio. Okay, guys, I'm going to play this on the way out. Listen to this. Hold the line. Protein, hydrated. It was 102 up here in Seattle. I almost tipped. I damn near did. It was hotter than hell. Okay, guys, love you all. Leave me a comment. I'll interact with you this evening here. I got some time. And go AMC. Rest protein. Remember, hydration too.
Warren from Massachusetts is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in recent weeks, I've sent letters asking questions from those at the center of the GameStop market chaos, and I've received responses from the SEC, FINRA, Robinhood, and Citadel, the giant hedge fund. I ask that those responses or lack of responses, Mr. Chairman, be entered into the record without objection. Mr. Chairman?
I'm trying to unmute. I didn't see that coming, Senator Warren, without objection. So ordered.
All right. Neither side advertised it publicly, but Citadel Securities was Robinhood's go-to partner for handling retail trades. At the height of the GameStop trading mania, Citadel alone was handling more volume than all of NASDAQ. And while Citadel was raking in cash from executing GameStop trades with one hand, its hedge fund affiliate was bailing out another fund on bad GameStop bets with the other hand. So I asked questions about Citadel and its relationship with Robinhood because this gets at the heart of what's wrong with Wall Street. It's riddled with conflicts of interest that allow the giants to win every single time. Here's some of the information that Citadel would not provide. How much money Citadel made from GameStop trades? What information on trades Citadel receives from Robinhood about GameStop and about millions of other trades? And then how Citadel uses that information it gets, whether it passes it along to its affiliates to make even more money. Professor Fletcher, is this information important for understanding the role that Citadel played during the recent GameStop volatility? If, say, Citadel had executed the overwhelming majority of GameStop trades during the turmoil or had been receiving an information advantage from executing Robinhood orders, could that potentially hurt retail investors?
Thank you, Senator Warren, for the question. Yes, so to just go right to your question, yes, this information about Robinhood and other retail brokers, customers trading is definitely essential to our understanding of these recent market events. One of the things that we know is that Citadel does receive a lot of information about customers' orders from Robinhood, but it would also be important to know whether and how that information is being used by Citadel and others in order to have a clearer understanding of the recent volatility and any role that they may play in the swings and the price swings that the stock price experienced.
So thank you. Robinhood gets more than half of its revenue from collecting fees for pushing its customers' orders to outfits like Citadel. And Citadel makes its money off the spread. They pocket the small difference between the buy and sell price of the trade. And this is important, Robinhood also receives a percentage of the spread on each trade. So, Professor Fletcher, both the number of transactions goes up and the spread tends to widen during periods of market turmoil. So, am I understanding correctly that when share prices for GameStop or any other company undergo extreme swings, Citadel and Robinhood both stand to make more money while investors pay more to trade?
Yes, Senator Warren. This is generally what happens in times of stress. And so it's also important to keep in mind that market makers like Citadel are both in the exchange trading markets and executing huge volumes of orders off the exchanges. So while pension funds and other institutional investors generally can't interact with retail customers, and retail customers are siphoned off and prevented from interacting with institutional investors, Citadel sits in the middle and is able to interact with all of them. And this benefits Citadel by being able to segment the markets in this way, which dilutes the number and quality of orders that we see on the exchanges. And the profitability is there for Citadel for doing so.
Right. And this is why the SEC needs to investigate the GameStop run-up. The stock market is supposed to be about capital formation, creating long-term value for companies so they can grow and create jobs. This is good for the American economy and for American families. But when big sharks like Citadel and Robinhood come out ahead, no matter what happens, and when the information they gather isn't disclosed, and when it's secret how that information is used, it's easier for these giants to skim off the top at the expense of small investors and working families. The SEC's job is to provide transparency about these companies' market tactics and make sure they don't rip off customers. They could start by following up on my questions to Citadel and Robinhood. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Amen, Mrs. Warren. Amen. Okay, guys, get some rest. Hydrated, protein, all that good stuff. I'll talk to you later.
In
Bye-bye.
business, it's never just another day.